Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'd really appreciate it because I'm new at this. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the videos. Hello everybody, Grandpa here. I've been getting some questions on how I can supplement my income, keep busy in the Philippines here, and the things I do. Um, there are a few ways I recommend as a senior that don't take up too much of your time and still allow you to have some fun and enjoy your retirement. So if you're interested in earning a little bit of extra money on your retirement, here's the ways I do it. This is not for you younger folks that don't have a pension and need to make substantial amount of money. There'll be links in that below. I grow chickens, and this is my chicken house. It's been gosh, it must be 10 or 12 years we've had this chicken house. And this is the way it looks on the outside. You'll notice that the downstairs part here is mostly dirt. I just let the chickens' droppings fall through. We put tarpaulins up to keep them cool. You can see it's already been cleaned, and we've just finished remodeling it with rebracing it with cocoa lumber. This particular chicken house cost about 50,000 pesos to build. We made the main columns out of concrete to hold up the main structure in case there was a baguio. But from the inside, you can see we've got just a corrugated aluminum GI kind of sheet with cocoa lumber framing and a few lights. The bottom is made of cocoa lumber and bamboo and green screen so the droppings can fall through and the chickens don't fall through with it. It's looking out of the chicken house. It's quite nice there feeding the chickens and playing in the yard. You can see the feeders over there and all of that stuff. We're just getting ready to put another batch of 300 chickens in there. 300 chickens will generally get you about 300 bucks. Sometimes a little bit better, sometimes worse. We have a little side room here off the main chicken house where we can grow ducks or native chickens or little baby ones we've hatched in an incubator. Same kind of design, just a little bit off to the side. Normally you don't mix native chickens with 45-day broilers. So about every 45 days when you harvest, you get your money. So you can make $200 to $300 for 300 chickens in a chicken house that's about 3 meters by 5 meters. That's the outdoor chicken house downstairs that we put our natives in if we want to grow some natives. But I've got a golden retriever, so he likes to have a field day with those if they're down there. So he's broke in there a few times. But it's covered. Native chickens like to scratch and they like more of a rustic environment, not a clean, sterile environment like we have for the 45-day broilers. So chickens growing is a great way to make some extra money. In the back, we've got a different design. On the back here, we had a complete concrete slab. It does rain a bit back there and it does flood a bit. So we decided to put a concrete slab in this chicken house. Same basic dimensions, a little bit shorter going up, but it's a little bit cooler in the back than it was in the front. So it's the same basic design. However, here what we used is the PVC pipes and filled it with concrete and rebar to make the main bracing. Again, it's made from cocoa lumber. You can see the similar roof structure, socket outlets, and this is a batch of 300 chickens. These guys here are about 2 weeks old. You can see all their feeders and all the ways they're going to get their food. So it takes about an hour a day to give them food and give them water. Great little guys. So in about 3 or 4 weeks, they'll all be about 1.5 to 2 kilos. This is pretty new. It's only 2 years old, but same basic design as the other house. Concrete columns and GI pipe roofing, or GI sheet, and screens on the bottom. So this one has been cleaned. The chickens like it. We normally will clean it at least every 2, never 3, sometimes 1. These lights we use when they're chicks, when they're really baby chicks. They're incandescent light bulbs, and we put them downstairs for the chicks to keep them warm at night because sometimes they get a little bit cold. We always have a scale because when we sell them, we like to have our own scale to weigh them. This particular area here is where we keep all their feeds and scoopers and all that kind of good stuff. So inside these bags, we have the grass that we've cut from our yard that we use as straw, dry it out. And then when we get the chicks in those little boxes you see on the right, we have the straw down first so that the chicks don't fall through or get their feet caught, and also so they can keep them good. Now this is a house in the back by our back lot, and we built this for great grandpa. He's 90 years old. This particular house is made with basically hollow blocks and Hardy Flex walls, and it costs about $1.2 million to build. It's a two-bedroom place with a front porch and a kitchen and a bathroom and all that stuff. This is located in the back. Here's my fish pond. You can make a fish pond for tilapia that's only about 2 meters by 2 meters and grow some of your own fish if you have enough room on your site. So that's going to be a good spot for you. It looks like I got to turn this off. For some reason, my air conditioning is leaking, so I got to go clean the pipe on that one. Sorry for. Hi everybody, I'm back. I had a air conditioner leaking. I had to suck out the drain pipe, so I don't know really where I am. I think I have to start this video over again, but there's only 4 minutes left. So I was saying we go to Casaba, and here's looking out of the fish pond towards the back where we grow calamansi and mangoes and sugar cane and various other things. There's a different look from the fish pond at the chicken house if you want to get some ideas on how to build yours. Everything here we mostly build with Kauaian. Those little guys that you see there are mulberries, so they grow pretty good, but we keep them all trimmed. There's the water pump with the deep well that we use to fill up the fish pond. So when we drain the pond, we drain it into the garden so we can use the fish water, and then we fill it with fresh water. There, it's a little bit bright today, but you can see if you look closely a bunch of tilapia running around in there. Those are great fish. So you can grow your own here in about a 2 meter by 2 meter. Now this is coming from the backland into the front of our resort, little bit gate. So if you ever come down here and you see that gate, you know you're at Grandpa's house. So here's another little bit of look at some cassava. So that really bushy plant. The roots are like potatoes, and you can cook them and boil them and eat them in a variety of ways. So I wouldn't recommend growing those on a small plot. This is malunggay, and that plant is absolutely great. You can have 1 or 2 trees in a small yard, and you just chop them off and eat the leaves. You boil them or put them in soups. They're supposed to have something like 90 ingredients in them, but they're really great. They grow really tall, so you just cut the branch off. And if you want more trees, you just cut the branch off and stick it in the ground. This is my avocado, and you can see a few of them in there. I grew this from 1 avocado seed here. Incredible. That was about 10 years ago. And look at all the avocados sitting up there. Bunches of them. That's just 1 tree there. And here's the ones we just got. I'm going to make some guacamole today out of our homegrown avocados. They're not as big as the Hass in the States, but they're just as tasty. Quite nice. And we also grow some black pepper. So anything that you can grow food-wise in your yard will save you money. So it's not always about making money, it's about saving a little bit of money. And this is our black pepper, and it'll start coming once the rainy season's off. You can see 1 little shoot. This is chocolate, cacao. So they're almost ready. And these are in my big house, I grow some things on the balcony. This is a starter of my tomatoes, and they'll get transplanted later. We've got some chili. These are those jalapeno chilies. So we grow them all like this, and then later we'll move them into the yard. I have a house in Maligaya where we stay sometimes or at the beach. This is calamansi, and it's like a cross between a lemon and a lime. Here's some mulberries that we grow around the house. You just cut the stick off and stick it in the ground, and you can have mulberries. These are spinach that we're growing on the balcony, and I basically like to plant stuff and grow stuff. Here's some more mulberries. You can see them. Some are red, some are purple. The purple ones are more sweet. The red ones are more tangy. You can see those there. Pretty nice little guys. We just walk around the yard, pop them off, and eat them. Sometimes there's an ant or two, but it doesn't bother me. Still pretty tasty. These are the calamansi I was talking about. They're orange or green on the outside and orange in the middle. So they're really, really nice. And on the back balcony, I've got some cactus growing. Uh, this is a little hobby to grow them. I started with about 3 or 4 of them and just started transplanting them. So the last way you can make money here, honestly speaking, is teaching English online. You can do that at your own leisure and all of that kind of good stuff. So my recommendation is if you think you want to top off your income and just say you want to have something to do, you can teach English as a second language. Okay, and there's TESOL and TEFL. So teaching English as a second language or teaching English as a foreign language. I'll leave some links in the playlist that you can have a look at other videos where they're going to teach you a lot more than me. But for me, if I didn't have a farm where I could grow some stuff to keep me busy, I think I would do something like this. So if you're still in the States, try to get certified on TESOL or TEFL or even both. You can make anywhere around $15 an hour. So say, for example, if you were over here in the Philippines and you wanted to work 3 or 4 days a week for 3 or 4 hours, you can easily add $200 or $300 a month to your available money. So if you're on 1,500 or 2,000 a month Social Security, you can pop it up a bit. You'll need a laptop and probably a cell phone for communications. But I would recommend getting a laptop and having a nice cell phone anyway, because you're going to want to probably document your travel here. You're going to want to go around. I wouldn't recommend getting a big fancy camera. Get a good cell phone and a good laptop where you can document your stuff, because you're probably going to have family and friends and relatives you left behind that are going to want to see what you're doing, where you're living, and all that kind of good stuff. So I highly recommend, if you think you may even want to even consider making some extra money, do English as a second language. For me, that's the best, because you can do it in an apartment, you can do it in any type of house. If you don't have a garden, you can't raise chickens. You need a bit of space to raise chickens, okay? You can't do it in the city, but if you're lucky enough to be in the province, and you have, if you build your own place, you definitely want to grow some chickens. Tilapia, you could grow. Fish is getting quite expensive, and it's kind of fun to grow them. And if you notice from my tilapia pond, it's not necessarily crystal clear, because tilapia like to hide a little bit, and they also like to eat the algae. So before you come here, I would get a certificate. It's not that expensive. I think I don't know, for less than $100, you can get all the certificates you need. And being American, you're going to be able to get more people that want to learn English from you, because American English is less of an accent than, say, even Australia or England. Um, People seem to prefer native American English speakers over others. There are quite a few British people teaching English, but they really try to practice their not having a major accent. But anyway, so to summarize, if you want to get a job over here, you're gonna have. I would recommend growing some of your own fruits and vegetables. That'll save you money. It's almost like having a job. Consider growing chickens. Stay away from pigs because one pig is going to cost you a lot, and they need a lot more upkeep, and they do have a mortality rate that's fairly significant. So you could end up, if one pig dies, you're going to be in trouble because you could end up having quite a bit of investment in one or two pigs, plus the house they have to live in and all that kind of good stuff. Um, Tilapia, small little pond, you can make that easily in a backyard, 2 meter by 2 meter, maybe about 2.5 meters deep, and you can grow 40 or 50 fish in there if you want, and you'll harvest every 4 to 6 months. Um, that's more of a hobby and something you can grow your own and eat. Teaching English as a second language is nice. Having your own mobile phone and a computer, and you may consider doing some kind of video channel like I'm doing. Anyway, look for the links that I have in here, and if you like it, subscribe. And Grandpa is now over and out for the day.